Yep. Oh, there we go. Good evening. Welcome to the 32nd AQS Quilt Week in Paducah. We're so glad to have you all here. Yes, yes. You believe? 32? Woo! You know, I've been at every one. That's even worse. We're so glad to have you here. I wonder if we have anybody that's here for the very first time. Wow, that's wonderful. Fantastic. Well, welcome. So then I think we have a lot of return people. Let's see the returners. Great. Welcome to you too. We're glad to have you back. You know, this is always an exciting night. In fact, it's one of my favorite nights. I can't wait to see everybody get their awards and the quilts when they come down. And it's just a fun night. And so we're just so glad to have you all here. There are a few things I'm sure you know if you have an iPad, Facebook, whatever GPS, you know that the pavilion has been moved. And you know it's been moved to make way for a hotel. So the pavilion's been moved about 2 blocks west of the Expo Center. It's an easy walk, no problem. You won't have to worry about it, but just in case, we also have a shuttle that will run all day long, continuously from the Expo to the pavilion. So catch the shuttle. If you feel like walking and weather's pretty, walk. You don't want to miss those 91 vendors and special exhibits that's over at the pavilion. Also, in case you don't know, there's 4 different places where you can see vendors and quilts, so you don't want to miss any of them. So you get through 2, you figure out there's 2 more someplace. So please do that. Another exciting thing this year that you don't want to miss is this is the 25th anniversary for the National Quilt Museum. And they have had a fantastic exhibit, and you need to see it. You need to find out what duct tape, sugar pats, and beer cans have in common. And you'll get to see that if you'll go check that exhibit out. So it's really worth your time. I think you'll have a good time. So do those 2 things especially. Check all those 4 areas for quilts, and I think you'll have a great time here this week. Now I want to know, did anybody here in this group receive a text from AQS on Sunday afternoon? Nobody? Oh, there's one back there. Somebody did. Nobody? Oh, there's one over here. Okay. Oh, a few back there. Well, I'm glad you did, and I want to congratulate you right now. I don't know what you won, but I know you won something, so congratulations. And the rest of you, I hope you didn't miss your text. That would really be bad. Okay, so tonight for our special entertainment, we have prime rib. Now, that's not for dinner. That's to listen to. This is a group of talented young men from Tillman High School, and they're going to come and entertain us before Bonnie Browning comes, and she will announce all our winners. And I know you can't wait for that. You know, Bonnie's our executive show director, so she has everything under control, and so she will announce tonight. But first, let's all welcome Prime Rib.
All of you guys for coming. While we're getting set up, I'll just give a little bit about us. We are an audition-based a cappella group from Paducah Tillman High School called Prime Rib. And I bet you wonder why we're called Prime Rib. And I really don't have the answer, but when I ask, they tell me that they were going to call it catfish. And I think Prime Rib is better than catfish. So we're going to sing a couple of songs for you guys today, and I hope you guys enjoy.
If I search this whole wide world, I never can find me a girl who loves me the way that you do. Yeah. Ooh, and I love this love that we share. Stronger than the other one. No one else can compare to who loves me the way that you do. Do what can you have me singing? Shabba lama, oh yes, you are. You're my rabba lama, you're my lamb, oh, now, now, oh, back into my smile shop. And I am so glad, oh, that is why you're my sugar, you just take it one more time. Yes, you do. Grab my energy, come on, grab it, come on. Back into my smile shop. And now I'm so glad, oh, that is why you're my sugar, you just take it one more time. fashion. Very well, very well. When you see the stars are falling. Very well, very well. When you hear that chariots calling. Very well, very well. In that great getting up morning. Very well, very well. In that great getting up morning. Very well, very well. When you see the lightning flashing, when you hear the thunder crashing, when you see the stars are falling, when you hear the chariots calling, good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, so glad chariots coming, and I don't want to be left out.
There's a long white robe in the heaven, I know.
Long white robe in the heavens, I know. Long white robe in the heavens, I know. I said good news, chariots coming, good news, chariots coming, so glad chariots coming, and I don't want to be left out.
In that
Great, I get up morning, very well, very well.
in that
Great, I get up morning, very well, very well. Great, I get up morning, very well, very well. Great, I get up morning, very well, very well.
Day, but we don't rock tweety. I don't pop, but do tweet, I said, but a zip, zap, zip, zap, zip, zap, 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 tweet, zap, 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 tweet, zap, 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 tweet, tweet, up, tweet, doo.
Are you ready for the good part? Well, I won't say that wasn't good, but you're here to see the quilts, right? Welcome to the 32nd Annual AQS Quilt Week here in Paducah. And we not only welcome those of you who are in the theater, but we have people watching on YouTube on the AQS channel, which is Quilt TV. So when you get home and you want to re-watch this, you'll be able to go to YouTube and watch it again if you want. I have some really exciting news to share with you this evening. Recently, in recognition of the American Quilter Society and the Schrader family's contribution to promoting tourism here in the city of Paducah, the city has renamed the Expo Center. It will now be called the Bill and Meredith Schrader Expo Center. And so where is Bill and Meredith? I know Bill's out here. She's down here. Is Bill there with you? Well, the Schraders have certainly done a lot, and we continue to do, all of the employees at AQS continue to do everything to promote tourism, which is the third largest industry in the state of Kentucky. So it has a big impact on our city. And so they changed it a little while ago. We did not change it because all of our materials said Paducah Expo Center on it. Next year, you're going to know that when we say the Bill and Meredith Schrader, or sometimes we might just say Schrader Expo, you're going to know it's exactly the same building, just with a new name. And we're also proud that quilting has helped the city of Paducah receive the designation as a UNESCO Creative City of Folk Art and Crafts. Now, UNESCO is the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. And recently, during an interview that I was doing, I was asked about the international aspect of our contest. So I pulled out the very first show book that we had for the very first show in 1985, and even back then, we had 3 quilts from Canada and 1 from Japan. So truly, we've been in international competition ever since we started. This year, we had entries came from 44 states and 13 other countries. Recently, we announced that AQS would be doing 2 shows starting in 2017. We're going to call them the Spring Paducah Show and the Fall Paducah Quilt Week, actually, not show. And they will be 2 totally different shows. What you're doing this week in the spring is not what we'll be doing when we have our fall show. It'll be a new contest, we'll have new teachers, we will have new events going on, but the one thing that will be constant is both shows will have $125,000 in cash prizes. Now, the rules are already available for all of the 2017 shows, and you can find those at quiltweek.com/contest. Just click on the contest button and you'll find those. And if you have questions about the rules, Andrea Ray is our contest coordinator. Here at the show, she'll be working in the AQS Information Center, but you can always send her an email if you have any questions about entering your quilts. You know, often quilters tell us that they don't want to enter the Paducah Show because they don't think that they can win. Every year, we have awards that are won by people who have entered for the very first time. And so I have a little story to tell you about myself. Years ago, my quilting friends encouraged me to enter my candle-wicked and hand-quilted quilt in that new show in Paducah, Kentucky. Finally, in 1986, I was brave enough to enter it, but I didn't tell anybody I entered it until I got that letter that said, "Congratulations, your quilt was juried into the show." Then I did tell everyone, and I was on cloud 9, like I know many of you are when you get those letters. In April, my quilting friends and I piled into cars and we drove from Dubuque, Iowa to Paducah, Kentucky to see my quilt hanging in the show. Does that sound familiar to anyone? And do you know what? My quilt was a 3rd place winner in that contest. And so I know many of you make quilts quilts that can and should be competing in our contest. Do you know that this year we are giving away more than $500,000? $503,000 to be exact. And you know what? You could be taking home part of that. And so we have $125,000 of that money to give away. And so we're going to do that. We're going to get on with the show to do that right now. I want to begin because no show like this can happen if we don't have judges. And so I just want to recognize the 3 judges that we had this year. Karen K. Buckley from Pennsylvania, Ricky Timms from Colorado, and Donna Wilder from Connecticut. And of course, they had a mammoth job because you know the quilts are always very competitive. And many times they wrote, your quilt stood up good to stiff competition. So if they said that, I want you to take that to heart because it means you were right in there. And so, you know, another quilt beat you out by maybe just a little bit. We also have a great faculty, and we try to get our faculty from all over the country. We have Linda Barrett, Karen K. Buckley, Carol Butsky, Pat Delaney, Bonnie Dwyer, Carol Elmore, Ronnie Elmore, Myrna Ficken, Rita Fischel, Linda J. Hahn, Claudine Hansen, Diane S. Heyer, Carla Klopp, Carolyn Koenig, Toby Lishko, Kathy McNeil, Renee Merrill, Laura Murray, Linda M. Poole, Joni Zaire Poole, Sue Reich, Gerald E. Roy, Pat Sloan, Kimberly Tetriv, Linda Theofold, Ricky Timms, Virginia Walton, Mary Lou Weidman, and Pat Yaman. Let's give them all a big round of applause. Before we recognize the winner in our Paducah Quilt Week contest, we'd like to introduce the winners of some awards and contests that are conducted by the National Quilt Museum. The National Quilt Museum sponsors the School Block Challenge every year, and this is sponsored by Moda Fabrics. One of the things about this contest that you may not know is that it is open to any school, K through 12 grades, all across the country, and this year they had entries from 17 states. So if you have some children in some school system in the city where you live, you need to make them aware of that because it's open to any school that wants to participate. The winning quilt for that was Patriotic Elvis, and it was entered in the 5th through 8th grade level, and it was made by Jacob Whitworth, Allie Curry, and Noah Newton, and they're from Columbia, Illinois. The National Quilt Museum also sponsors the New Quilts from an Old Favorite contest, and this year the theme was New York Beauty. Can't wait for you to see those over at the museum either. It's sponsored by Janome America and Motor Fabrics, and I believe we have the first place winner. Yeah. We do? The first place, oh, let's see, I'll give you the third place first. I'll read them in order. Third place is Liberty Day by Terry DeAmato from Mashpee, Massachusetts. Second place award goes to Gotta Dance by Kathy Geyer from Waukesha, Wisconsin. And the first place award is Do These Stripes Make My Butt Look Big? By Sue Turnquist from Tifton, Georgia. And I believe Sue is here. Sue, if you'll come up on the stage, you'll get your check from Frank Bennett, who is the executive director at the museum. And we won't ask you how you got that title. Thank you to all the winners in the museum's contests. And you know, this evening we're giving away some awards, or some door prizes to some of you, and you have to be here to collect it. And after you all came in here, our staff chose those winners. I'm going to announce them throughout the evening, but if you are one of these winners, Andrea Ray will be in the lobby afterwards so that you can pick up your prize. And so the Moda tin of fabric is Diane Fulton. 608 phone number? Are you in here? Okay. And so it is now great pride that we begin the winners of the 32nd annual AQS Quilt Contest. We would like, first of all, to recognize all of the winners of honorable mentions, and could we have the house lights, please? When your name is called, if you'll just stand and remain standing, and then we will celebrate all of you after we've named all 16 categories. Mikey Umami from Tokyo, Japan. Frost on the Watermelons. Sharon Schlichtkow from Loganville, Wisconsin. 1208 Leaves by Jean Kerwin, Ivesville, Illinois. Baltimore in Bloom, Sally McGee, Heath, Texas. Blue Plate Special, Susan Stewart, Pittsburgh, Kansas. Tartan Tattoo, Lindsay Upton, Aberdeenshire, United Kingdom. Summer Lake Sandhills, Joanne Baith, Bonanza, Oregon. Celestial Orbs, Sylvia Schaefer, Athens, Georgia. Slices of Market Life, It's Been a Slice, Ontario, Canada. Dog Walks Girl, Pam Beal, Mass City, Michigan. Sunshine and Shade Garden, Karen Eckmeyer, Kent, Connecticut. Blueberry Green Teas, Marcia DeCamp, Palmyra, New York. Poinsettia, Laura Roos, Malabar, Florida. Garden Vocabulary, Barbara Jensen, Rochester Hills, Michigan. Tuning Fork number 11, Heather Prager, Fort Worth, Texas. Pineapple Delight, Amy Pabst, Leroy, West Virginia. And Fairy Tale Garden, Elaine Braun, Paducah, Kentucky. Congratulations to all of you honorable mention winners. Next, we will recognize the Judges Recognition Awards, and this is sponsored by Tin Lizzy. Representing Tin Lizzy, do we have a representative from Tin Lizzy here? Ann Hamill will make the presentation for Tin Lizzy. And so we're going to recognize, first of all, the quilt that was chosen by Karen K. Buckley. It's called One Cake, Two Cake, Red Cake, Blue Cake. It was made by Linda Neal and Jackie Brown, McKinney, Texas. Karen picked this quilt because it made her smile. She said, "It's such a happy quilt and I love the edge treatment." Linda's design was Let Them Eat Cake pattern by Nancy Barrett. It's applique, piecing, embroidery, and it was quilted on a long arm sewing machine. Are you coming up? Okay, good. The next quilt was recognized by Judge Ricky Timms, and it was A Shared Destiny, Patricia Kennedy Zaffred from Murraysville, Pennsylvania. Ricky says, Patricia based this quilt on images by Edward S. Curtis, courtesy of the Library of Congress. This piece attempts to capture the essence of these Native Americans. Ricky chose this quilt because it struck a visual and emotional chord with him. He said, the quilt reminds me that there are those legacies that should not be forgotten. Donna Wilder chose Flight Path by Mary A. Menzer, Virginia Beach, Virginia. Donna picked this quilt because the southwestern colors are beautifully blended and the transition, they transition well through the 4 quilt sections. She loved horizontal quilting and feels it adds the perfect texture and soft feel to the quilt. The multicolored binding adds the final touch to this outstanding quilt. and Mary pieced and quilted this on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all of the Judge's Choice Award winners. All right, now, so just so you know, we've got prizes to give away. We're going to give another award away, and this one is a basket of fabric from Robert Kaufman, and this goes to, I want to know, Gary Durbin, do you quilt? Gary Durbin won this. I bet he has someone with him that will like this basket of fabric. So we would begin now with the miniature quilts category that's sponsored by Flynn Quilt Frame Company, and representing the Flynn Quilt Frame Company is John Flynn. So Ann Hamill will represent the Flynn Quilt Frame Company. And the third place winner in this category is Silk Road by Kumiko Friedel from Houston, Texas. Kumiko was inspired by the ancient trade route, the Silk Road, was quilted on a home sewing machine with embroidery and trapunto added to enhance the designs. And I believe Mr. Miami was going to accept this award. I know he was tight on time to get here. He is not here? Second place is Take Off by Barbara Benota, Island Falls, Maine. Barbara found inspiration in an oil painting by her husband's uncle dated 1982. 32 years later, here is her interpretation using raw edge applique, piecing, painting, and quilting on a home sewing machine. And the first place award goes to Sewing Bee by Philippa Naylor, East Riding of Yorkshire, United Kingdom. Philippa has a garden filled with hens, ducks, and a gray tag goose named Ryan Gosling, of course. Her stunning little quilt is filled with ducks, geese, hens, fruit trees, flowers, and more that inspire her every day. It was created with hand embroidery, trapunto, and quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the miniature quilt category. Small Wall Quilts Innovative Art category is sponsored by Superior Threads, and representing Superior Threads is Mother Superior. Mother Superior isn't here. So Ann Hamill will represent Superior Threads. The third place award goes to Song of the Sea by Kathy McNeil from Tualaip, Washington. This Art Nouveau diva has 3 hearts, 2 merry legs, and the ability to change color in a scrape from any container. Kathy used 321 yo-yos for the suckers. Techniques included applique, embroidery, and it was quilted on a home sewing machine. Second place goes to REM, Rapid Eye Movement, by Sonia Grasvik from Burien, Washington. When you observe a person during REM sleep, you will notice the eyeballs tracking back and forth under closed eyelids. This signifies a rich journey into the hidden world of the dreaming brain. Quilting on a home sewing machine accents Sonia's applique and embroidery. And the first place award goes to Floral Flashback by Jan Fraser, Victoria, Australia. Jan describes her salute to the flower power of the 1970s as surreal, verging on psychedelic, created using applique, piecing, embroidery, and quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the Small Wall Quilts Innovative Art category. Now next is the Small Wall Quilts first entry in an AQS contest. And this is a good category for those of you who are a little bit shy about entering. And it's sponsored by the YLI Corporation, and Jim Miller represents YLI. Third place goes to Who Was Alice by Julie Berkey from Landenberg, Pennsylvania. Julie created this beautiful image in an effort to get to know her grandmother, Alice Edith Roberts, who passed away before she was born. It was appliqued and quilted on a home sewing machine. The second place award goes to High Voltage Birds by Susan Bianchi, Saratoga, California. When the idea first dawned for this quilt, it was intended to be the perfect winter tree. Susan spent months searching for a perfect image, finally coming upon this as her version of a tree. She enjoyed the opportunity to play with space and movement. It was pieced and quilted on a home sewing machine. First place goes to Las Ventasas by Kristen Shields, Bend, Oregon. Each window has improvisational piecing for a separate landscape view, pieced and quilted on her home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the first entry in the AQS contest. Small Wall Quilts Pictorial category is sponsored by Horn of America, and representing Horn of America is Jeff Williams. Jeff here? I guess Ann Hamill will be representing Jeff Williams. Third place award, Radiant Roots by Susan Jacken from Madison, Wisconsin. The roots and leaves shown beneath the earth's surface in Susan's quilt are fused onto the hand-painted background, quilted on a home sewing machine. Second place goes to Approaching Storm by Leah Gravelis, Alberta, Canada. When the Alberta sky takes on a purple to red-purple shade in the distance, locals know that a storm is coming and to take shelter. This quilt depicts that view over a canola field. Leah used 200 different batik fabrics cut into 3/4-inch strips. Was quilted on a home sewing machine. First place goes to Yellow Sky by Shirley Giese, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Yellow Sky is an abstract representation of the southwestern landscape. It features umber fabrics, geometric shapes, and bright colors. It is machine pieced and quilted on a domestic sewing machine in straight line format to emphasize the design. Congratulations to all the winners in the Small Wall Quilts Pictorial category. Small Wall Quilts Long Arm Machine Quilted category is sponsored by Juki America. Representing Juki America is Rich Gold. Well, Ann, we're going to give you another workout here. Ann Hamill will represent Rich Gold. Third place award goes to Oturo Winter by Cynthia L. Vogt, Kennewick, Washington. And this is Cynthia's interpretation of an image of a small Japanese village enveloped in a blanket of snow. Only the crested rooftops break the sea of white. Created with applique piecing and foundation piecing on vellum. Second place goes to The Jester's Folly by Margaret Solomon Gunn, Gorham, Maine. Made from Kaufman Silk Radiance, the bold quilt captures the spirit of Carnival. Quilting is all original and hand-guided. Other techniques are applique, piecing, and embroidery. And the first place award goes to the Paisley Peacock by Beth Ann Nemish, Allentown, Pennsylvania. The rich sari fabrics of India and their tradition of henna tattoos inspired this peacock design. It's free motion quilted and features an elaborate knife edge binding made of individually constructed tabs and hand-tied beads. You need to make sure you take a good look at the hand-tied beads on the edge of this quilt. Congratulations to all the winners in the Small Wall Quilts Long Arm Machine Quilting. Small Wall Quilts Home Machine Quilted is sponsored by Koala Cabinets. And representing the award for Koala Cabinets is Zach Gallegos. We're glad to see you, Zach. And the third place award goes to Harmony's Loop by Susie Webster, Apple Valley, Minnesota. This is an original circular border and quilting surround the central medallion that was adapted from authentic Turkish designs by Azaid Akor. Second place goes to The Language of Flowers by Kathy McNeil, Tualaip, Washington. In Victorian England, women armed with floral dictionaries often exchanged small talking bouquets called tussy muzzies. Kathy's bouquets each have their own meaning. Be careful not to mix up the poison and the passion flowers. And the first place award goes to Slow Motion, Sonia Grasvik from Burien, Washington. A special exhibit of quilts from Japan inspired this piece. The exhibit artists were masters in the use of taupe color in their work. After completing this piece, Sonia said she is totally humbled by their expertise and their genius using these colors of fabric. Congratulations to all the winners in the small wall quilts hand quilted category. Small wall quilts hand quilted category sponsored by Panasonic, and representing Panasonic is David Williams. And representing David Williams is Ann Hamill. Third place award goes to Summer Sonnet, Jane Holohan, Walworth, New York. This medallion-style whole cloth quilts features flowers, birds, and cherubs with a hint of embroidery and tiny beads. This original design is hand-quilted and trapuntoed, and it's been added to trapunto's been added to enhance the quilting. The second place award goes to Along the Silk Road by Suzanne Marshall of Clayton, Missouri. It's appliqued, embroidered, and hand-quilted. These birds were inspired by 7th and 8th century silk samite fragments. First place award goes to Rondo from Machiko Sakuda, Kanagawa, Japan. 30 years ago, Machiko planted big pink roses in her garden. The beautiful healing roses in this quilt were created from memory. Her design source was Dayton's Design Book by Reiko Kato. Techniques include applique, embroidery, and hand quilting. Congratulations to all the winners in the small wall quilts hand quilted category. Group quilts. These are the fun ones. We had some really good group quilts. We're sponsored by Innova, and representing Innova is Heidi Farmer and Neil Schwarzenberger. Third place award goes to Vintage Blocks, Tossed But Not Forgotten. By Jane V. Cole and Quilters from Waynesville, North Carolina. Jane created this quilt using 2 sets of vintage orphan blocks from 2 different quilters. Here they are living a new life together. I want you all to look real close at this because it's a really good idea to use some of those old blocks that we have laying around. It's pieced and quilted on a home sewing machine. Second place award goes to Spirit of Sedona by the Mavericks Ladies from Mesa, Arizona. 6 quilting friends sliced a photo of the red rocks of Sedona, Arizona, and then assembled and quilted each piece independently. Here they are, joined slices. Applique, embroidery, and it was quilted on a home sewing machine. And the first place award goes to the Botanical Gardens of Balboa Park, and it was made by the Bobbin Buddies of San Diego, California. Each member of the Bobbin Buddies, say that fast 3 times, was given 3 pieces of the sliced picture to reproduce. Design source was the Balboa Bark Botanical Building by Bernard Gangman. Appliqued, embroidered, and quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the group quilts category. Large wall quilts, modern quilts category, sponsored by Statler Stitcher. Presenting the award for Statler Stitcher is Shandy Brinkman. And so representing Shandy will be Ann Hamill. Third place award goes to Big Love by Sherry Cafaldi Morell from Woodbridge, Connecticut. Sherry was inspired by frequency waves to create this quilt as an abstract interpretation of what the word love might sound like, pieced and quilted on a home sewing machine. Second place goes to Facets by Krista Watson, Las Vegas, Nevada. Krista loves coordinated scrappy quilts and improvisational piecing within a structured format. She uses interesting machine quilting textures that are easy to do, yet look very complicated. Facets is from her book, Machine Quilting with Style, From Walking Foot Wonders to Free Motion Favorites. It's pieced and quilted on a home sewing machine. And the first place award goes to The Whole is Greater Than the Sum of Its Parts by Cassandra Ireland Beaver, Urbana, Ohio. Tightly spaced matchbook quilting in coordinating thread runs through each of the 6 vibrantly colored fabrics that combine to create an unified central image. Pieced and quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the Large Wall Quilts Modern Quilt category. Large Quilts category, Pictorial, sponsored by Elna USA. And representing Elna USA is Vince Nutt. Third place award, One Fine Day by Lori Britt, Bakersfield, California. A herd of wild horses on a lonely stretch of highway was just the inspiration Lori needed to create this beautiful quilt. It was quilted on a long-arm sewing machine. Second place goes to Duckface, Hiroko Mayama, and Mr. Mayama from Tokyo, Japan. Hiroko enjoys making viewers happy by using her dogs and granddaughters among beautiful scenery. This image captures an adorable gesture while the dog looks on curiously. Beautiful applique, piecing, and embroidery with quilting on a long-arm sewing machine. And the first place award goes to Red Temples by Karen Turnbull from Laguna Niguel, California. Oh, they must have just gotten here. Congratulations. And now the first place award goes to Red Temples, Karen Turnbull from Laguna Niguel, California. The original design was inspired by the woodblock prints of Hiroshi Yoshida and Karen's own photos from her travels in Japan. Beautiful applique and quilting on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all the winners in the Wall Quilts Pictorial category. Large Wall Quilts Long Arm Machine Quilted is sponsored by Knowlting Long Arm Quilting Machines. And representing Knowlting Long Arm Quilting Machines is Daniel Terrell. And Daniel Terrell's going to miss out because we have a bunch of winners in this category. Ann Hamill will represent him. Third place award goes to A Quilter's Garden by Kristen Vieira, Lincoln, Nebraska. Flowers and feathers bind their way around the quilt to create a perfect garden. This original design incorporates curved and traditional cross-hatching along with various other background fills to enhance the free motion feathers and vine work. Now, I will tell you that she also has a quilt over in the museum in the 25th anniversary exhibit, and I will encourage you to go see if you can find all 16 of her tigers in that quilt. Second place award goes to Twas the Night Before Christmas, by Linda Neal and Jackie Brown of McKinney, Texas. Santa's list contains storybook villains on the naughty list, while Linda placed her grandchildren and other family members on the nice list. Applique, piecing, embroidery techniques with quilting on a long arm machine. Congratulations. And the first place award goes to Judgment of Osiris by Georgia Spalding Pierce of Seattle, Washington. This is the third in a series of quilts that explores the art of various culture. This quilt represents art found on tomb walls and monuments in ancient Egypt, created using needle turn applique, reverse applique, paper piecing, trapunto, and thread sketching. Congratulations to all the winners in the large wall quilts, long arm machine quilting category. Large wall quilts home machine quilted is sponsored by Baby Lock USA, and representing Baby Lock is Zach Gallegos. The first place award goes to Oscar the Great by Nancy Sterrett Martin and Karen Sistek from Owensboro, Kentucky. A photograph by Oscar Nunez inspired Nancy and Karen to recreate this beautiful quilt. Once they received permission, they hand-painted a heron in water on silk fabric, and it was quilted on a home sewing machine. Our second place award goes to Why Not by Andrea Petroselli from Prescott Valley, Arizona. Angela's friends advised her to start quilting with something simple. She asked, why? 3 years later, here is Why Not. Her design source were designs from Carol Doak and Cindy Edgerton. And the first place award goes to Victory Colette Dumont from Quebec, Canada. Colette combined her love of swirls and kaleidoscope designs with embroidery to create this special work. Along with her own stitch and fill designs, her design source is a variety of CD-ROMs from Dover Publications. Was quilted by hand and on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to all of the winners in the large wall quilts home machine quilted category. All right, are you ready for another prize? All right, this time we have an Elnum sewing machine to give away. And it goes to Linda King. I guess Linda is here, that's good. Bed quilts, hand quilted category is sponsored by Paper Pieces. Representing Paper Pieces is Jess Finn and Sherry Vining. Third place award goes to Blowin' in the Wind of May by Tokyo Nakajima from Gunma, Japan. It's hand quilted, applique, embroidery, and trapunto transpose fabric and thread into a gardener's delight. Second place award goes to My Sweet House with Carrara. It's by Ayako Kawakami from Chiba, Japan. This is Ayako's 5th quilt that she has made for her daughter, Carrara. Stunning hand quilting with applique, piecing, embroidery, and needlework. And the first place award goes to Kalaksa by Chi-Eko Shishiri, Saitama, Japan. Chi-Eko definitely succeeded in expressing colorful flowers in this quilt. Exquisite hand quilting combined with traditional Hungarian embroidery make this quilt spectacular. Other techniques include applique and trapunto. Congratulations to all the winners in the Bed Quilts hand quilted category. Bed Quilt's first entry in an AQS Paducah contest is sponsored by Gamble Quilting Systems, and representing Gamble Quilting Systems is Shandy Brinkman. And Shandy didn't come yet, so Ann will fill in for her. The third place award goes to Iced Ginger Snap Latte by Nancy Simmons from Duncannon, Pennsylvania. When Nancy saw the Good Wife quilt pattern by Betty Neff, she knew immediately that she had to make this quilt. Nancy pieced and quilted this beauty on a home sewing machine. Second place goes to Santa Maria del Fiore by Mayoko Sasano from Tokyo, Japan. Mayoko made this quilt to remember Italy. She was inspired by the magnificence of the Cathedral of St. Mary of the Flower. Techniques include applique, piecing, embroidery, trapunto, and hand quilting. And the first place award goes to Extraneous Female Escapement Mechanism by Becky Pryor, Henderson, Texas. Becky learned to applique in the 1980s when she was introduced to Baltimore album quilts by Ellie Sienkiewicz. It only took her nearly 30 years to put those lessons to use in finally designing and making her own quilt. It was quilted by Jackie Brown, and the design source was Steampunk Goggles Block of the Month by Marziah Karch. Congratulations to all the winners of the Bed Quilt's first entry. Bed Quilt's Long Arm Machine Quilted category is sponsored by Hobbs Bonded Fiber, and representing Hobbs Bonded Fibers is Larry Hobbs and Becky Richards, or maybe it's just Becky Richards. Third place award goes to Sunburst by Sherry Durbin, Burnsville, North Carolina. Would you believe this is Sherry's first machine applique quilt? Sunburst was born from Sherry's own designs and those of Sharon Pedersen in the Rose of Sharon block book. These amazing designs are appliqued and pieced, and it was quilted by Brian Frackler. Second place award goes to Bodacious by Claudia Clark Myers and Marilyn Badger of Duluth, Minnesota. Claudia and Marilyn met in 2000 when they collaborated on a raffle quilt. From there, they have gone on to win quite a few awards. Bodacious is another true collaboration as they both pieced and assembled, and then Marilyn quilted Claudia's designs. Techniques include applique, piecing, and embroidery. And the first place award in this category goes to Arabella by Deborah France, San Antonio, Texas. Deb named this stunning New York beauty quilt Arabella to honor her great-great-grandmother. Her design sources are Southern Beauty by Susan Garman, Come Quilt and You Can Quilt It by Deborah Poole, and the techniques include applique and piecing. Congratulations to all the winners in the Bed Quilt's Long Arm Machine Quilting. Bed Quilt's Home Machine Quilted category is sponsored by AQUilt, and representing AQUilt, please welcome Susan Ellis. We recognize this name. Third place goes to Not Your Grandmother's Wedding by Pauline Salzman, Treasure Island, Florida. Pauline's desire to have a double wedding ring quilt was a dream come true when she won a die cutter and then saw Victoria Finley Wolf's designs. See, dreams can come true. Second place goes to Quahati by Marla Yeager of Ava, Missouri. Marla's goal with this quilt was to take her art to a new level. She stretched herself with the designing and piecing of this beautiful quilt to achieve amazing results. Each quilt Marla creates is drafted out completely on graph paper before colors are selected or pieces cut. She quilted it on a home sewing machine. And the first place award goes to Grandmother's Cabin by Ronna Walker Summerlin from Port Orange, Florida. Ronna was influenced by quilts from the 1930s. To pay tribute to the style of the Depression era, she combined several recognizable classic quilt motifs into a single quilt. Ronna's personal challenge was to use as many fabrics as possible. Now, who wants to go count the fabric? Congratulations to all the winners in the Bed Quilts Home Quilted category. Okay, and so now we're on to our Purchase Award winners. The Best Miniature Quilt is sponsored by A1 Quilting Machines, and representing A1 Quilting Machines is Stuart Plank. The A1 Quilting Machines Best Miniature Quilt Award, and this goes to the Quilt Museum, remember, is Daisy Chain by Laura Welkin from Noblesville, Tennessee. Noblesville, Indiana, but it says Tennessee on my paper. Laura wanted to see just how small she could make the fused applique. Well, how about 1/8 inch circles in the daisy centers? All of the applique is blanket stitched with silk thread. There are 108 tiny yellow daisies on this quilt, and it was quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations. The Best Wall Quilt Long Arm Machine Workmanship Award is sponsored by Handy Quilter, and representing Handy Quilter is Mark Highland. And the Handy Quilter Best Wall Long Arm Machine Quilting Award goes to Reborn by Molly Hamilton McNally from Tehachapi, California. Molly found her way out of periods of darkness and depression when she discovered a passion for the art of quilting. Just as the phoenix rose again, this quilt represents her rebirth. Congratulations to the winner of the Handy Quilter Long Arm Machine Workmanship Award. The Best Wall Home Machine Workmanship Award is sponsored by Brother International, and representing Brother is Dudley Langley. And the Brother International Corporation Best Wall Home Workmanship Award goes to A Passion for Purple by Andrea Brockenshire, Round Rock, Texas. A visit to a summer garden in full bloom where clematis blooms seemed to be reaching out to the sun was Andrea's inspiration. Techniques used include applique, hand painting, turned applique, and a confetti background. It was quilted on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to the Brother Wall Home Machine Workmanship Award. Next, we have the Best Wall Hand Workmanship Award that's sponsored by Coates & Clark. Representing Coates & Clark is Lynn Brown. And representing Lynn Brown is Ann Hamill. The Coates & Clark Best Wall Hand Workmanship Award goes to Happy Halloween 2 by Aki Tsukai from Tokyo, Japan. Aki fell in love with Halloween while living in Ohio. This is her second Halloween quilt. Exquisite hand quilting with applique, piecing, embroidery, and all kinds of details added to it. You need to look at that one close. Congratulations to the winner of the Coates & Clark Wall Hand Workmanship Award. Okay, now we do have some more prizes to give away. The next prize is a Bernina sewing machine, and it goes to Donna Warden. Okay, these are the biggies now. This is the Best Wall Quilt Award, and it's sponsored by Moda Fabrics. And representing Moda is Debbie Duckworth and Debbie Outlaw. The Moda Fabrics Best Wall Quilt Award goes to, it's The Cowboy Way by Karen Boo Lorenz from Billings, Montana. Long days, tough rides, cattle drives, sunrises and sunsets make a wonderful life for the cowboy. The coolies of her Montana land provide Carlin with plenty of inspiration for her quilts. This quilt includes applique, piecing, and quilting on a home sewing machine. Congratulations to Carlin Lynn Boo Lorenz for winning the Moda Fabrics Best Wall Quilt Award. Our next award is the Best Long Arm Machine Workmanship Award, sponsored by American Professional Quilting Systems. Presenting the award for APQS is Angela Huffman. And the APQS Best Long Arm Machine Workmanship Award goes to My Brunette Wig by Gail Stepanek and Jan Hutchison, New Lenox, Illinois. Gail's changes to an antique wig rose variation produced a block that doesn't resemble the original pattern. Jan's traditional quilting with metallic thread adds the sparkle. If you're wondering about the name, the dark brown background was the inspiration. Congratulations to the winner of the APQS Best Long Arm Workmanship Award. The Best Home Workmanship Award is sponsored by Bernina of America. Presenting the award for Bernina is John Carr. Hi, John. The Bernina of America Best Home Workmanship Award goes to Hopeless by Janneke de Vries Bootzinga from Friesland, Netherlands. Janneke's quilt depicts the mass exodus in African countries due to dangerous conditions. She tried to capture the overwhelming feeling of hopelessness felt by refugees. Techniques include applique, piecing, needlework, and free motion quilting on a home sewing machine. A stunning quilt. The American Quilter Society Best Hand Workmanship Award is sponsored by the American Quilter Society, and presenting the award this evening will be Meredith Schrader, President of AQS. And the winner of the AQS Best Hand Workmanship Award goes to Ben's Midnight Garden by Barbara Korngold, Chevy Chase, Maryland. Barbara was inspired by a 19th century American rug in the collection of the Museum of American Folk Art. Ralph Asmarian gifted the applique quilt to the museum. The maker is unknown. Barbara included applique, piecing, embroidery, and trapunto, accented by beautiful hand quilting to complete her quilt. Congratulations to the winner of the AQS Best Hand Workmanship Award. Now I know this is the door prize you've all been waiting for, because this one is a trip for two to the 2017 Fall Paducah Show that includes airfare, lodging, and admission to the quilt show. And it goes to, you aren't going to believe this, Carol Mollers. Are you still here, Carol? Okay, she is still here. All right. And so now we're ready for the moment you've all been waiting for. The Best of Show Award is sponsored by Janome America, and presenting the award for Janome is Vince Nutt. And the Janome America Best of Show winner for the 32nd annual AQS Quilt Week contest is Arredano by Marilyn Badger. Marilyn refers to Arredano as her therapy project. For the last year and a half, she has enjoyed accenting the long arm machine quilting and beading with hand embroidery. Marilyn used 100-weight silk threads for all of the quilting and Hobbs cotton wool batting for this breathtaking quilt. And congratulations to Marilyn Badger, winner of the Janome America Best of Show Award for 2016. This concludes our awards presentation for this evening. You hope you've enjoyed the stunning quilts, and I can't wait for you to see them all in person. And really, what we really want for you to do is do everything you can here in the city of Paducah this week, because everybody loves having you be here. So go enjoy the show. If you're going to the sneak preview, you'll get to see all of the quilts firsthand this evening. Thank you again for coming, and we hope you'll be back next year.